joining us from the press room in MSG is Ramona Shelburne. Hi, Momo.
Hey, you guys. I mean, ESPN has some good security, let me tell you. And for the first time in a long time, I got here way too early. Or I got anywhere way too early.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not you. But
tonight, what needed to be.
What's it like outside the building? Have people already started to gather? I mean, it's 1:15 in LA. It's 1:18 right now, Momo. The game starts in 4 hours. Actually, a little 4.5 hours.
I'm staying at like 28th and 6th, so fairly close to the Garden, which is at like 33rd
you could walk,
and 8th, right?
Yeah.
I could walk, but I sprained my ankle, so I can't right now. So I have to, waddle along with my boot on and stuff. And I said to ESPN, I said, hey, I might need a little extra help. And my colleagues have been like carrying my bag for me. It's very nice. So I just drafted off other more important people than me. It was so great. Like, I got the security guard who was like, hey, we're doing Stephen A. show, and he just kept dropping that name, and it worked, and we just got in. I just let the security guard do all the work. And, you had to have the right – I looked good because I did NBA Today, so I made sure to just kind of draft off the people who were coming from that and the security, and we just got inside. But let me tell you guys, 2 o'clock in New York, leaving my hotel 6 blocks away, they were already shutting streets down.
Wow.
My Uber could not get through. I had to pull out my credential and talk my way past the New York City police barricade just to get to where I was going.
And so in 2 hours, that's going to be even worse.
Oh God, I don't know how anyone's going to get inside. I really don't. I'm a media person with credentials and ESPN security. I don't know how anybody with just a ticket is going to get in.
So, Momo, I was just in New York a couple weeks ago. They were waiting to see who they were going to play, San Antonio or OKC. And I'm telling you, the town was on fire. There were banners everywhere. Every bar has a watch party. There are Jalen Brunson jerseys hanging all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Describe sort of the vibe in New York City right now. Well,
I did a whole deep dive on Brunson today. It's probably too long for you to read, but I'll tell you some of the highlights, okay? So I'm into the music, right? I'm into the song New York, New York.
Sure.
Did you know that it was originally done by Liza Minnelli?
Yes, I do.
It's not just a Frank Sinatra song. And the Liza Minnelli song is a totally different vibe to it. It's kind of like she's this star who's sort of desperate to make it, and it's a little thirsty, her version of it.
Yep.
Whereas Sinatra's song is like really confident, and he's really he's swaggering, and he's got the brass horns and all that. And that was just a couple years later. And I think that's the difference between Dallas Jalen Brunson and New York Jalen Brunson. Like, he's just already arrived. He's confident. He's the king of New York. Like, everybody loves him. But the reason why I think they love him is that he's 6'2" and stocky and doesn't really look like an NBA star. He says he's not an NBA star. Like, that whole song, this whole New York ethos, right? Or whatever you want to say. Like, the reason why people love it when you make it in New York is because you had to earn it.
Sure.
Like, you don't really get given things here. If you're a Broadway singer, it means you beat out thousands of other people who are also really good. Like, it's, nothing is given in this town. And so I think that's why Jalen Brunson connects so deeply. He's just he has to earn every shot. He has to earn every inch on the court, and he doesn't make anything look easy. Right? I mean, you don't watch him and go, wow, that was effortless.
Yeah, no, no.
And I think that's why he connects so well.
Yeah, I mean, I think, having lived there, I think New York is the most competitive town in the country. Like, you are fighting and competing.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, it's a fight to get to work. It's a fight to get to the theater district. It's a fight to get to a restaurant.
And that's reflected in the fan base. You're
right. And the fans have that sort of energy to them. There's a competitiveness to them.
Totally.
So,
I got a quote from Fan Leibovitz in the story, and she goes, listen, Jalen Brunson is all of us. She goes, New York is a hard place to live. It's hard just to finding a dry cleaner is a triumph. Okay. Even if you can find one, getting there, you pack like sardines on the subway. I mean, I think that's why this Knicks team is connecting so much, and why, honestly, I'm really shocked. But John, you and I have been saying this all the time. Like, when you see a team that's on a heater like this, it just picks up a level of momentum that you kind of have to just smile and reflect on and have fun with.
So the first time I met Karl Anthony Towns, Momo introduced me to him.
Oh.
You were talking to him in the hallway at what was then Staples Center. And he just seems like a great guy. We ended up talking to him for like 10 minutes. But we had a call earlier in the show saying, why did the Wolves trade Karl Anthony Towns? And the answer I gave, I'm curious if you agree or you would give a different one. I said, because they tried to get to the finals with him and they couldn't do it. And they thought that group had peaked. And my real answer is, I think he's playing the best basketball of his career right now. I think he is peaking at exactly the right time. What do you think?
100%. And listen, Karl Towns was the number 1 draft pick. Like, this is not an underdog story.
Right.
I mean, Jalen Brunson was the 33rd pick in the draft. But when Anthony Edwards got to Minnesota, Karl Towns just very happily allowed Anthony Edwards to be the alpha of that team. He doesn't need to be the best. I mean, he doesn't need to be your face of the franchise. I think he's fine in that spotlight. He was fine when he was that guy in Minnesota, but I think he's better cast as the second best player on your team or a supporting player. And I think here in New York, he's great letting Jalen be the captain. It's all good. Although in this series, if you took a vote after the first 2 games, I think Towns would get a lot of votes for MVP because of the way he's played on both sides of the ball.
Right. I think he'd win it. I'm with you.
So what do you make of the fact that Wemby was seen sketching a statue in a park? I guess this was yesterday. He's got a different way of approaching everything.
I don't know how he can go out in New York right now. I really don't. Like, I'm just picturing, like, how – I mean, it's crazy around here, but, like, even just setting foot outside of his hotel room, everybody knows who he is. He's 7'5".
Yeah.
Like, there's no hiding. You can't just put on a hoodie, you know? Like, everybody knows that's Wemby. So I'm sure he had a lot of security with him and stuff, and I know he probably wanted to connect to nature and do some sketching, but you could, like, sketch inside your hotel room. I don't know. I thought that was kind of a little bit weird.
Yeah, it is odd. It is odd. Are you surprised that Wemby, I mean, I think it's fair to say he's been outplayed by Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, I'm really surprised.
Is it just is it inexperience? Is it not knowing what it's like to play at this sort of altitude, at this leverage? What's going on with him?
I think Karl is actually really good, and he outweighs him by maybe they're listed about the same weight, but Karl has a lot more beef. You know what I mean? And Wemby, for as talented as he is, he tends to settle for jumpers. He settles on the 3-point line. If you shove him around and you move him around, like, he's going to stay outside. And thus far, he's fallen into the Knicks trap there between Karl Towns and Robinson guarding him. And then on the other side of the ball, I think he hasn't been the same defensive guy. And one of the things I'll tell you about Towns, he and I've talked a little bit, and he said, I said, Karl, how are you getting by Wemby? Have you noticed how many times he's gotten by him on the first step?
The blow-by rate is unbelievable.
And sometimes Wemby still recovers and blocks him from behind or something. And Karl says, because I'm not afraid of getting blocked. Like, if he blocks me, he blocks me. But you just have to go. And I think that mentality is so freeing when you're not afraid of the embarrassment of getting blocked or the consequence of getting blocked. It's kind of freeing.
Ramona Shelburne is with us. She's in New York City at Madison Square Garden 4.5 hours before tip. That's how crazy the security is there. Ramona, I'm the only one on the show who thinks the Spurs could come back and win this thing. I think if they win one game tonight, I think that gives them confidence. Everybody else thinks the series is over. What say you?
I think that we shouldn't pick against a hot streak, but I will say this.
Knicks.
Tonight is the most important game because New York, sometimes this pressure at home, like Sprewell and I were talking for this story that I did. Sprewell. Let me use his full name. Latrell Sprewell and I.
Yeah.
Okay. He said sometimes it's harder to play at the Garden because of everything that's here. Like, because of all the security, because of all the celebs, because they see all the same stuff that we see, the $10,000 ticket prices and, everybody, how much is on this for the city and all that. Sometimes they play better on the road because it's just a little less chaotic. But I think that tonight is the one where if they lose on this stage, now you're not just losing one game and going down 2-1. You're losing a 13-game winning streak. You're losing the momentum that you have in this series. You're losing the mental edge. Like, the other team thinks that they have a shot now. So if they win, if San Antonio gets this one tonight, I think it's a series. I think they could win 2 here. I mean, these teams are fairly evenly matched. It's just, New York is just playing a lot better.
All right, so a lot of stars go to these games, Momo. Who will you be trying to meet tonight?
Okay, so I don't think they're even letting us on the court at all because Trump this year. I know he's in a suite, but they said no one non-essential gets on the court pregame. So I'm just not going to bother. But last time I was here, I was very excited to meet Martha Stewart. She sits courtside.
She's very cool.
And I did not turtle. I went right up to her and I just said, I've always loved your work. I'm sorry to bother you. I just wanted to tell you how I'm a big fan. And, and I didn't turtle, and she didn't really have much to say back to me. There was no recognition. She had no idea who I was. And I just kept on moving, but I was proud of myself that I didn't turtle. So
that's good.
That's one of their fun. Yeah, she was Martha Stewart.
I had one of those where I won't say the person, but I had one of those where I met a famous person. I was like, I'm Steve Mason, ESPN. Nice to meet you. And she was like, could not have been less interested. She did shake my hand, but nothing at all. But I don't want to say who that is.
Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it rhymes with Bennett Nenning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Momo, what happens tonight?
I think the Knicks will win. I don't know. They're just on one.
Yep, they are
on one.
That's for sure. I'm a little jealous of you. I wish I was there. I think it's going to be a blast.
I know.
We're going to talk to Ben Lyons next hour if he hasn't passed out
Oh, my
yet.
God.
I don't think he's slept for a week.
I mean, every single day I get an all-caps tweet 3 times a day of what he's eaten and how many hours are left to tip off.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's ridiculous.
That's awesome when your team finally gets there. All right. Hey, Momo, have a great time tonight. Appreciate it. By the way, Momo's piece about Jalen Brunson is on ESPN.com right now. I've set aside a couple of days to read it. Thanks, Momo.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Ramona Shelburne, the Ramona Shelburne at Madison Square Garden.